Okay, in this activity, what we're going to do is I'm going to make some Goombas. And what I'm going to start with is I'm going to just show you a game I made previously. We'll take a look at this one here. And you'll see there's a little problem with the Goomba. And I want to address that problem. So on this one here, you'll see my Goomba. And the Goomba, what does a Goomba do? Now, for those who don't know a Goomba, I'll put my cursor by it. It's the little character at the bottom of the screen. But he walks on air. Someone said, your Goomba walks on air. That's a problem. And so we're going to fix that as well. But basically what a Goomba does is a Goomba goes to the left and goes to the right. So I'm going to make a Goomba that goes to the left and to the right. So really very easy to do in Game Maker. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sprite for my Goomba. I'm going to call it Sprite Goomba. And I'm going to edit the sprite, and basically I'm going to make the Goomba, for ease of being quick here, a 16 by 16 image. And how about let's paint it brown, because Goomba's sort of brownish. Sort of that color maybe. And there you go. So Goomba's just going to be brown. Not transparent, of course, and 16 by 16. Okay, so there's my Goomba. So I obviously need to make an object for a Goomba. So to create the object Goomba, I'm going to use the Goomba sprite. I'm going to call it object Goomba, and I need to get it to do something. If I just add this object into my room, and let's put the Goomba right down here, and I press play, you're going to see here's Mario, and there's the Goomba, but absolutely nothing happens. Maybe I shouldn't even waste your time playing this, but I'll show you there. Nothing happens. There's the Goomba. Nothing happens. So first thing I need to do is make Goomba go to the left and go to the right. So what Goomba is going to do is when Goomba is created, I want him to start moving. So I'm going to say, in create, set a horizontal speed, and let's move the Goomba. I'll set a speed of 2. I'm not sure if that's going to be too slow. I might want to set a speed of 4. But let's start with a slow-moving Goomba. And then what I want to do is, if Goomba collides into a wall, so a collision with the wall, I want Goomba to go the opposite way. And so now I'm going to press play. And just, it'll be a little bit more exciting. What we're going to see here is the Goomba should start moving to the right at a speed of 2. It's a little bit slow. Maybe that's not too bad. So the Goomba moves at a speed of 2. When it hits a wall, it bounces back. Of course, you can't see the wall because it's invisible right now. But basically, it works all right. And here I need to watch out for Goomba. Okay, so Goomba's going to go, but maybe I want Goomba to not hit the wall, but just go as far as the tree, which doesn't have a wall. The tree's just a sprite. In fact, it's just a tile. And so I want the Goomba to be able to go, and maybe I want to put a Goomba on here as well. So you know how to make a little trick here. So there's a Goomba on here, and there's a Goomba on here, but the Goomba would just keep going back and forth in the air. And as was said earlier, that's not very good. So what I need to do is I need to create another sprite, and I'm going to call this sprite Goomba wall. And I'm going to edit the sprite, and I'm going to make this sprite 16 by 16. Doesn't really matter so much in this. And what I'm going to do with this Goomba sprite is, so I know where it is located at the beginning here, I'll leave it as a green block. So here's my Goomba sprite. And what I'm going to do here is create an object. And I'm going to call it Goomba wall. And I'm going to use this Goomba sprite. Notice it's not solid, so my Mario can go through it. And I'm going to make it not visible either. so it's not going to be visible either. And all the Goomba wall is going to do is I'm going to put a Goomba wall here and here, and I might put a Goomba wall right here just to test this out here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make object Goomba have a collision event with a Goomba wall. So if it collides with a Goomba wall, it's going to do the same thing, and it's going to reverse the direction. Okay, so now when I press play, you should see the Goomba is going to be restrained by walls and also by Goomba walls. So here the Goomba is going to look like he's smart and is staying on the brick, right? He's not going down below. And here Mario can go through him, but there's a slight problem. Mario doesn't die if he hits the Goomba, and if he stomps on him, it doesn't do anything either. So let's fix that last step, and then I think we're pretty well done. So to fix the last step, what we're going to do is in Object Mario, what I need to do is I need to say in a collision event with a Goomba. So when Mario collides with a Goomba, and watch this, it's when I first came up with this, I thought, oh wow, this is pretty good. I'm going to test a variable. And what I want to test the variable is called v speed. And if the vertical speed is larger than 0, so if my vertical speed is 1, 2, 3, or 10, that means I'm moving down. That means Mario is going this direction. That's moving with vertical speed. If vertical speed is negative, it means it's going up. So what I do is I test, is vertical speed larger than 0? If that's the case, when I collide with object Goomba, if I have vertical speed, what I want to do is I'm going to set my variable called vertical speed, v speed, and I'm going to set it to a speed of 10, negative. And that's going to make me bounce up like I jumped, right? Because that's what happened when Mario stomps on the Goomba. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy the other. So I'm going to say destroy the other, and the Goomba is going to die. So that's the end of my block. However, if that's not the case, if I collide with the Goomba but I don't have vertical speed, in other words, maybe I'm running along and I hit the Goomba without vertical speed, well, in that case, what I want to do here is I want to restart the game for now. Later on, I'm just going to lose a life. But then I can't just walk into Goombas, okay? So if I collide with a Goomba, but I've got vertical speed, I'm going to bounce up and destroy the Goomba. Else, I'm going to restart the game. You know what? I'd like to add a sound effect here. So I'm going to go into my Mario sounds, and I'm going to load the sound here from the Mario sounds. I've got one right here on my desktop called Goomba, and it just sounds like this. And just very simple thing to add here. And so what I'm going to do is in my program, I'm going to go to main 1 here, and if I actually get the Goomba, I'm going to play the Goomba sound. Let me be a little more careful and play the Goomba sound. So that's pretty well it. And actually, while I'm at all these changes, let's take my Goomba sprite, and I've got from the Mario Sounds folder, I also put it on my desktop here, I've got a strip. So see this strip here? There's 4 items in a strip. Let's add, I'm going to create it from a strip, and I'm going to use the Goomba strip. And how many images? 4. How many images per row? 4. And the size is 16 by 16. And there you go. I've got 4 Goombas, and I can see a preview. There's my Goomba. And I just need to do one last thing. Check transparent. And now my game is a little bit more playable. Let's play the game here and try it out. Question, yeah?
It's not in the folder.
Okay, I will make sure I put it in the folder if it's not in the folder. Thanks. So there you go. You see the Goomba. He's walking back and forth. I'm going to collide with him. You can see I did that, and voila. I should probably also test that I can hit them from the side and the game restarts. And I could do that as well right now. Let's just test that real quick here. And there you go. I'm going to run into the Goomba. The game restarts. But if I hit the Goomba like that, I bounce. Or if I hit the Goomba like this, you can see I bounce. And we can use that